Welcome everyone to another episode of TradingView Tips. Back with you again. My name is Bastian, also known as Honcho Mindset. So last time when we dove into it, we went to setting up your TradingView. And so if you haven't revisited that or you need to set that up, please revisit our previous video that will guide you step by step on how to do so. For now, for those of you who have set everything up and have your accounts, we're going to dive into everything that is this top bar and left hand side bar. Okay, so this top bar again is your search engine. Quick shortcut for your search engine is just straight up type it right on your chart, GBP USD for example, and you guys can see that we went right to that chart instead of having to go to the search engine, click here, and then select it. You can just do this, Euro USD, and it will go to this page, and then you can select which broker. I mainly always go with FXCM. That's my main go-to. And so what I do is I'll type in GBP USD and then I'll immediately press enter, and I'll kick you to the very first option in that list. And so that's a really quick shortcut way to go through your assets. Okay, now on the right of that you'll find your time frames, and so this is a drop down menu that you can go through. Now I want you to for sure star the following assets. Okay, these are called your majors. Okay, the 1 month, the weekly, the daily, the 4 hour, the 1 hour, the 15 minute, the 5 minute, and the 1 minute. All the other ones are secondary to those. Your main time frames are the ones that I've just given you. I want you to star those, so that as you get started, those are the ones that I want you to focus on. When it comes to your chart, we're going to be and at Inner Wealth, we mainly focus on the line chart and the candle chart. There are other styles of charts. Me personally, I just focus on these two. Indicators are right here in the search engine. As you can see, I have a couple of them that I've started. These are a couple throughout my journey, things that I have found, tried out, applied to my chart. And all I can tell you guys is I've came to understand that the best thing for me and my strategy and the way that I trade, and I know this isn't for everyone, but I prefer a naked chart. Okay, I prefer less things on my chart. A naked chart is what I see the best. And so I personally deviate from all indicators, but that doesn't mean that there aren't good indicators out there. There's some very cool, really unique indicators that have helped me out at first. For example, the daily open indicator is something that you can add, and it will show you where the daily opening price was and whether we were bearish or bullish. See, the line will be red if price is below it, and the line will be green if price is above it, showing you the opening price for every single day. It's a very unique tool, but again, personally, I don't use indicators. I prefer a naked chart and a clean price action. One second. And clean price action. Okay, so indicators I don't use so much. Indicator templates, alerts, these are your alerts. This is how you can add an alert, what price. There are many ways to do the alerts. I rarely ever use that button. I'll show you guys how I personally do it. So let's say I want to set an alert when price comes above this high right here. So I want to set an alert right there. I will go to that price with my arrow. I will right click at that price and then just add alert. And I'd rather just do that because it's a lot easier. Plus it's already at your alert level. It's just one click away. Okay, so the next thing that you have up here is your replay bar. It's going to add these options at the bottom. At the making of this video, this is how the update is. And what this is for paid members, subscribers only. I think it's only available like on the Pro and above. But what you get to do is you get to go back, and let's say you missed today's price, but you want to back test it and practice it and see how you would have capitalized on it. You just drop this blue line wherever you want to back test, and then after that you can allow it to play back at a slow speed, at a really fast pace to see what you would have done. And yeah, so I highly recommend for anybody who backtest to get that tool, and then that way you can anticipate, see how you would have reacted to price at that level, what you would have done differently with a little bit more of market feed. Now, this isn't to say that this is live market feed. It goes by different size ticks, and not, you won't get the full market experience of just being there. So if it's something that you want to fully experience, I suggest just making it over to the charts in time. Okay. But very unique tool that TradingView again gives you. This is how you exit. Once you exit that format, it will just boot you to current price. All right. So this is the back button. Of course, you can go back as many times as you want. Forward, undo button. Here on the left hand side, you have your cursors. Okay. Every time you select one of these, you can double click it and it will drop down the menu, as well as you can just select that little side menu that's on each one. Okay, this left hand side is called the toolbar. The toolbar is what we utilize to put anything on the chart and navigate. So here's how you can select that cursor. Okay, you can select a dot, and you can just select the mouse. Okay, I like the cursor. This is what I usually navigate with. The next one is the lines. These are the things that I personally utilize very much. Again, anything that you add on this favorites bar will be added onto this favorites bar. So check this out. Any favorite here will be added to the end of that list. Okay, and anything that you unselect will also be deducted from the end of that list. And so here you guys will see everything that I use. And on the left hand side, it goes from like my favorite to my least used. And this is honestly, I don't really use anything here at the end very often at all. And so here is, I will go back and revisit it. And price note, I'll use that, but anchor text, I don't really use it. Price note, barely use it. Yeah, so it's just things that you can play around with. This is the toolbar that I use most of the time. I rarely go over here and navigate and go through, look for tools. I always have my toolbar right here, and that's what I really trade with. I mentioned in the previous video as well, you want to make trading as easy as possible. You want to, when you're trading, the goal is to execute flawlessly. Okay, follow your plan. Not to that you're gonna get perfect entries and perfect trades, and by no means do I mean that. What it means is following your plan and executing according to your trading plan flawlessly. And the easier you can make that happen, the more rewarding this journey will be for you. Okay, so we'll go to the next one, and this is all your fibs and your extension levels. I personally only use the fib retracement tool. Here's your brush. Again, I personally only use these tools here. I don't play with any of the other stuff that looks a lot more different. I just play with the certain tools that I have here, and I favorite them. And the reason that I favorite them, and I'll go into this a little bit more on the next video, but the reason I have these tools is, actually, I'll just dive into it right now. Let's say I want to select my arrow here. So I want to mark out this low. And to me, that low, for those of you who don't know my terminology, lows to me are liquidity. So I right click this arrow, and then I can right click it and go to my templates. Now this is a really cool part, is like you can double click these tools and the settings will pop up. The style, the color, the thickness, the whether you want an arrow, whether you want a normal, whether you want it dotted, dashed, extend the line to the back, extend the line to the right, show me price levels, price range, what ranges from what time to what time. Okay, all of these things can be added onto this bar, and so I have templates, so you can set these settings up. And let's say you want, for example, I have liquidity, so you guys see my money bag right there. That's my liquidity template. I have also an Asian liquidity template. Now my Asian liquidity template, why is it different from my other one, is because it's only visible on the 1 hour time frame and lower. And so here on these tabs, you can play with the style. You can edit the text that's added on to the top, bottom, middle, wherever you want it, right, left, center. You can select the font color. You can select the font size, bold or italics. You can select no text at all. Coordinates as to where specific in price do you want this point A and B. Okay, so you can get really specific with it. And then you can set at time frame specifics as to where you want it to show. Maybe you don't want it to show on the daily, you want it to show on the weekly. Maybe you only want it to show on the 1 week. And so you can play with those time frames and time zones as to when you want that arrow to be visible. So, or that tool. And that's throughout any tool you can. And the way that you do it, for example, we're going to create a new one. So we're going to, let's say I want a red arrow. I don't want text anymore, and I want this arrow to signify breaks of structure. So I want it to be a strong arrow, a little bit thicker. And I also want it to be dotted or dashed. Okay, so these will represent my range. We'll say this will represent my trading range. So we'll save here. We'll go to template. Let me go back to it. Template here, save as, and then here you go to you can label it whatever you want, and you'll click save. And so now, no matter what, every time I click that arrow, if I were to switch templates to liquidity and say, well, this is also my trading range, then I can right click it, go to range up here, range here, and boom, it brings up all the settings that I had left on that and at the moment of saving. And so it's a really cool feature to save your templates. So now going down, I want to show you guys your risk to reward. I want to show you guys that you can play with any of these tools and change the colors, the settings on them. Again, I suggest that you guys navigate through all of these things. Always find ways to utilize your tools more efficiently. Though this tool is an extension of yourself. It's an extension of your trading. It's an extension for you to improve your levels of accuracy and efficiency. Okay, so utilize it to maximize all those key points. Okay, so now going down, you guys can see that there's a little ruler here. You can measure price once you select that, price and range. Going down, magnifying glass, you can zoom in. I personally don't ever use these guys, so I just zoom in through here, through the price tools here and the time range. The way that you expand your chart, when you let's say you're first coming into the chart and you're scrolling up or down, this thing's going up and down, and it's weird navigation. Okay, you can lock the time, or you can lock the price to the point where price is not moving, but now you're just moving time. Okay, and so you can move these or reset it. A lot of people do this, right click, reset chart. What I like to do, I like to whenever I'm doing something, I like to be specific, and then I just double click the chart either on the line, on the price, or the time. And what it will do, it'll reset everything for me on that linear point, whether it was on that axis, whether it was on the y-axis or the x-axis, whether it was the vertical axis or the horizontal axis. So that's a pretty cool, unique trick that I've learned. Again, you can right click and reset your chart, so that way everything's going back to normal and navigating together, zooming in and out together, whether it's price or time. Or you can lock one of them, play with it, and then start playing with that as well. As you hover over price on the right, you can scroll. As you hover over time on the lower end, you can scroll as well, and that will create that back and forth movement. Okay, and so this video is all about navigation and making things efficient. So navigating through TradingView and utilizing your tools. Okay, so again, guys, I will see you guys on the next one. We're going to continue to add on to these great tools, and all I want for you guys to do is drop in the comments things that you guys see me do on my charts, things that you guys have seen me do previously, and how I do it. And if you've ever wondered how I've done any tricks, anything on my chart, or want me to touch on any specific topic, please don't hesitate to drop a comment on this video, and I will be happy to revisit all of that information for you guys and review them and post a video on that specific topic. So again, guys, love you. See you guys on the next video, and trade responsibly. Peace.